section 3.3. We're at our last example. At last, we're at example 5, and we're finding the reasonable domain and reasonable range of a function. We have learned so much in this particular section already. It's been very taxing, but definitely well worth it. All right, let's take a look at our situation. Manuel has already sold $20 worth of tickets to the school play. He has 4 tickets left to sell at $2.50 per ticket. We're going to first write a function to describe how much money Manuel can collect from selling tickets, and then we're going to find the reasonable domain and the reasonable range for the function. The word reasonable domain and range, we're still finding the domain and range. And really, the range depends on what we establish the domain to equal. Because remember, range is y is our dependent variable, and y depends on x. So we have a certain situation, and we're going to follow through with it. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's create this situation. So what we're doing, we're comparing total money that's being raised and number of tickets. Okay, now I don't know how many tickets that he's sold so far that he's going to sell. Okay, I mean, I could probably guess, but I don't really know. And so number of tickets, that's what our total amount of money depends on. So we're going to call that x, and we'll call the total cost y. Okay, so right off the bat, y equals, how are we going to figure out that total cost? Well, it starts with this first sentence. He's already sold that amount, so that's what he's got right now. Plus, he has a couple more tickets left. Now, we're not going to use this number in the equation, because that's insinuating that we're selling all 4 tickets. He has 4 tickets, but he may not sell any of them. He may only sell a couple of the 4. He may sell all of them. So we're just going to say we know he has tickets, and they're $2.50 each. Each one of those 4 costs $2.50, but we don't know how many precisely, because he may not sell all 4. So that's why we've got to leave it as an iffy and create that as an x instead. Okay, so we wrote a function. So there it is. There's our function. If we wanted in function notation, what would I change the y into? Right, f of x. Okay, it's a function of x. So here's my $20 plus $2.50 for each additional ticket, and that'll give me my function. Okay, so to find the reasonable domain and range, and remember, your domain is your x. Domain is your x. He only has 4 tickets. Okay, that's all he's got left is 4. He doesn't have this endless supply of tickets. So he could sell none of them. He could sell 1 of them, 2, 3, or all 4 of them. He could potentially sell. That's your reasonable domain. You're not going to have negative numbers. And you're not going to have any numbers over 4 because he doesn't have that many tickets. He only has exactly 4 tickets. And that's what he could potentially sell as far as numbers of tickets. Now the range depends on these numbers. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the 0 and you're going to plug it in right here for the x. So we got to do the multiplication first before we can add the 20. So what's $2.50 times 0? He sold no tickets. That's right, 0. He already had $20 with 0 plus 20. So if he sold 0 tickets, then it would be reasonable that he would give $20 to the school for the school play. Okay? Now, what if he sold 1 ticket? So we're going to put the 1 right here for that x. What's 1 times $2.50? $2.50. Add that to your $20 that he already had. And what do you have? $22.50. That's right. Well, what if he sold 2 of the 4 tickets? Well, what's 2 times $2.50? $5. What's 5 plus 20? $25. I think you're getting the hang of this. This is the reasonable range based on the number of tickets he could possibly sell. What if he sold 3 of the 4 tickets? So 3 times 250 is 750. Add that to 20, that's 2750. Let's do our last one. Okay, he sold all 4 tickets. What's 4 times 250? $10. What's 10 plus 20? 30. There you go. So there's your equation. They asked us to write a function. We wrote it. And they asked us to establish the reasonable domain. We did. And then we used that domain to calculate the range, which we also did. So this is very reasonable. This is as good as he can do. His range will lie between $20 to $30, depending on the number of tickets he sold, between 0 and 4 tickets. Okay, so that's it for that one, and we'll practice that a little bit more in class, so I don't want you to fret. We will always practice, and I will always be here to answer your question. So if you have any questions, write that down. Code word this time, my favorite hockey team, Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina Hurricanes, write that down. All right, see you guys later. I'll see you tomorrow.